Hello and welcome. Hope you are all right wherever you are and keeping well in this quarantine time, being safe and healthy. Today, we are going to learn to draw a landscape and also to paint it in mixed media format. Now, as we see, each drawings begin with a few simple shapes and forms. We are going to draw lightly with our pencil. This makes it easier to erase mistakes and other marks that change slightly in later steps. When you have finished, use some eraser and gently erase any remaining pencil marks. If you wish, you can add color by using crayons or colored pencils, or you can use poster or watercolors if you want. You may want to cut out your drawings and tape or glue them onto colored construction paper. Then you will be able to display your collection of drawings showing all sorts of vivid landscapes. We are going to have fun while doing this landscape, so let's enjoy this process. In this landscape scene, the sun shines on a rowboat tied to a seawall. This is a great landscape drawing for people who love the water and the shore. In this section, we'll show you how to draw this rowboat at a seawall landscape. You can draw it freehand while looking at this illustrations which we are providing. We'll show you an illustration of each step and then give you a description of how to draw it. Follow these red lines in each illustrations to learn exactly what to draw in this step. The lines drawn in previous steps are shown in grey. Let's start sketching this landscape. For drawing, you will need a pencil, a ruler, a rubber and a drawing sheet. First step is we will sketch the positioning lines. For this, we will first need to draw a horizon. Now this horizon will be just upward from the middle of the paper, and we'll draw a horizontal line to show it. Sketch a straight line to represent this horizon. Then use your ruler to draw a long rectangle that widens and is open at the right end. To show the position of the rowboat, make a second closed rectangle that overlaps the first. Then in this rectangle, draw a line through its center. Sketch an irregular line that meets the horizon on the right for the shoreline. With a ruler, place 5 tall, narrow rectangles next to the longer horizontal rectangle as shown. Make sure the tops and bottoms are in straight lines, and you can check with the ruler. Continue the rowboat by forming the bow or front end with 3 curved lines. Then arrange 2 seats with sets of parallel lines. Use a ruler to help get the lines to match. Draw another line parallel to the seats for the stern or rear end of the boat. Extend lines down from the ends of the last line and connect them to make another 4-sided figure. This will complete our drawing of the rowboat in basic shape. Adding the background details, we will make an irregular jagged line in the background above the horizon line to represent a mountain range. Add depth to the posts by using slanted rectangles at the sides and L-shaped lines at the top. Arrange 2 sets of curving, closely parallel lines for ropes to tie up the boat at both ends. Draw a few straight and curving lines to show the inside of the rowboat. Sketch a few irregular shapes for the clouds in the sky. This will be the last step almost for the sketching. Place a circular sun in the lower part of the sky, such as the surface of the water, with curvy lines placed at random, both near the boat and in the distance. put sets of diagonal lines inside the boat to show its rib-like structure. Form the seawall with parallel horizontal lines between the posts. Make a bunch of jagged or spiky shapes for tufts of grass, then add a few large ovals as rocks. This will end up our drawing. Now, if you have some dark drawings, please try to erase it and make it light. Now we are going to see a video tutorial about how we will get to color it and how we can use different media of colors to paint and color our landscape. We have discussed the drawing so far, and now we are ready with the drawing, so we can start with the coloring. Now for coloring, I am going to make use of watercolor for basic washes, then oil pastels for some detailing, and also we are going to use markers or some felt pens or sketch pen if we need for any detailing purposes. In short, we are going to use mixed media for coloring or painting this landscape only because we will be having some limited material at home, and we should be able to paint or color accordingly with our available materials. Firstly, I will be using watercolors for giving a base coat or base painting layer for this whole landscape in every part. Then I will be using an overlapping layer of oil pastels or pencil colors and markers at the end for giving the details. Now let me make it clear to you that you are not at all expected to do how exactly I am doing. You are free to use your own forms of colors or medium of colors. If you don't want to use any medium of color, only a single medium of color like oil pastels, you can. If you want to use only poster colors, you can. This is just why, because I am showing to use different forms of colors in one painting only. As I am going to give a base coat of watercolor, so I will have to dampen the paper for giving free washes. Now there is one thing which I want to show to you, that this is a spray with which we can be able to dampen the surface of the paper for giving free flows of watercolor. This we are not going to use because this is only used when we have to spray on whole paper, or we don't have any restrictions of coloring it part by part. So here we are not going to use that. We are just going to dampen it part by part by the brush only. So I will use the brush only to do it, and this spray will no longer be needed, but just for you to show what we can use in coloring or painting watercolors. This now as you can see, I have started dampening the sky part, because first part which I will be doing will be the sky part. So I accept the clouds and the sun, I will be dampening the whole sky to just make flows of sunrise and the climate according to that. I'm just going to let the colors flow in it. Firstly, around the sun, I'm going to fill up the yellowish tones. Basically, I like watercolors and I paint waters very much. I like to do it very often because the kind of transparency and high quality colorfulness it gives is the most which I like of it. I'm going to mix it with a little bit orange color. We're going to make the sky very colorful. Now we'll not find that much of red at the day part because this is not the sunset, and sunset has too many colors in it. Yes, sunrise also has, but now you can see the position of the sun. It has risen high at a height, so the colors only will be this, and some blues I will add to it, sky blue to it. Not the totally orange and this will make our sky. I'm going to pick up some color over here because I want the sky to be a little bit whiter also. As you can see, this is a cartridge paper and some of the paper's lint is coming out, so you have to keep in mind that you're not going to dampen the color or make use of the brush more and more. Only let the colors flow and let it be as it is. We'll start with the water part with directly the color. This is the waters which I will be seeing, but I'm not going to color it totally. I'm not going to give a wash. I'm going to leave some reflections of it because it's a day and we have white reflections of all the sky which we see at the up. So I'm going to just give some strokes of water to this part. Now here the boat is tied up with the ropes to not go flow in the seashore. It's okay. Here what we are going to do, we are going to use the reflections of the boat also. So now I'm going to use some brown color to color the boat. Basic color I'm giving. And here a little bit of reflections of the boat. Now we are going to let it dry. Now we are going to color the beach part, which is this one, which is nearer to the seashore. We are going to color it as the color of sand. I'm prominently use the color yellow ochre to make that feel. And I'm going to use it a little bit light and dry brush technique I'm going to use in it to help it look a little bit scratchy. The sand feel should come. I'm going to use it dry a little bit. Here this part I'm going to do it little bit dark brown. Why? Because it is made up of wood. I suppose it should be a little bit darker, so I'm going to use a little bit brown and try to create some texture also out of it. So watercolor has this also property that you can create texture also with it. On the go, that also we can use it. I will suggest you also try to make some art with watercolors if you get in future, to experience the beauty of this watercolor. And those who are going to do it with poster colors, please make sure that you try sometime using the colors in transparent way. These are the columns. As we are done with that part, I'm going to make this part of the boat. I'm going to leave this outline to afterwards detail it. Sometimes we go mess up with the something goes wrong and we get frustrated, but there is always a way you can do something with the painting. As this thing has gone, I will color it with white pastel, and that thing will go like this afterwards. So there is always an alternate way to clear up your wrong parts or the wrong mistakes which you have done. Here I'm going to give some details over here. So this is the tone filling of the bottom of the boat over here. Now the reflections also, they will be a little bit darker, as you can see over here. This is up now. Now we'll give some details over here. Not going to go in totally detail. Now if you can see, this part is like a long distance, so we are going to not pay attention to its tonal values to create shades in it, but we'll put some plain tone to it. But when it is at a distance, we'll just make it as a darker green shade or tone, as you can see now. Don't take tension while coloring this, only take care of this lower line, because it will make the horizon afterwards at the end. And there comes changes in your drawing and coloring parts. Let it get changed, doesn't matter. That should not make your drawings bad. Just take that care. We are just going to add some darkness to this part adding to the details to make it look nice, more nice. Now, as I had said, we are going to play on this part of the clouds. And the clouds will have reflections of the sunrise also. So we'll put some yellowish tones over here and leave the clouds as it is. White should remain. And we'll leave this clouds like that only. For the sun, we'll just merge it into the yellows. Bas, that's all for the sun. And you are up for this now. This plain toning of the watercolor. Now we'll go on to the details. After we are finished with the plain toning of it, we have nothing left with the sky to be done. We have nothing left for this bushes to be done. Only the work is to be done in this and the ship or the boat part. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just add some texture in this to just look it a little bit scratchy. Over here I'm going to give some gradation over here so that the distant thing looks more distant and the nearer things little bit lighter. Here now I'm going to add some dark tones over here. I had added it with the watercolor also, but it did not look up nicely. I will also add up to the lines of this. And create some texture of the wood like this. With this we'll create some texture. Now one thing I forgot to tell, that this is also the part of water, so we'll put the reflections of it also like this. The wall will be also reflected into the water, so we'll try to create some reflections of the wall also. Some dark, some light tones. It will be seen now that it is reflecting down the surface. Sorry. And at the bottom of this wall we are going to create some gradation to just highlight the. Sometimes for highlighting a thing we have to make it a little bit deep, darker. We are done with this wall now. Towards only the work is remaining for the highlighting. Now this, if you see this part will have reflections of sun rays. So I'll put some yellowish colors on it, tones on it, but still it's a part of wood, so we'll play with it with the brown color only. Put some brown over here. And let it remain for the details. Now only the details are remaining, which will be doing it now. For the details, we are going to use a sketch pen. I have a brush pen over here, and I have a marker. For this marker, I'll use it for making some outlines, bold outlines. I would like to give some deep tones more in the board to give it feel a deep thing. Here, the outline of boat. Here I have a brush pen which I can add some details to this. Wall. Give the details, repeat the details if you want. Then video of this as well. We're done with this. The last thing which we are going to do is the bushes which we had first drawn in between. Just make that over. And then the remaining rope which we had created, the rope should be connected to the boat. So here also there was a rope. Now we have to highlight some parts. Now this rope should be seen, so we use this highlight it because the underlayer is of brown color and the rope might not be seen. So we have to make it look and make it be seen. So there. Good. Then some highlights over the clouds also which we had messed up with the coloring of the. This happens when we put a lot of pressure on our crayons. Here we are going to create some yellow tones, making the reflections look of the sun. I'm adding the detail of this rope which we had created. Hope you guys might have enjoyed it a lot, and keep painting, keep drawing, keep enjoying, maintaining yourself out of stress.